All right, Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Let me make this volume. Who is Loy Machedo? Think Personal Branding. Okay. I thought today would be a nice day to make the behind the scenes of my interview with Thairish Times. For those of you who may not know, I agreed to do an interview with Thairish Times. His name is Pete. This is Pete and his lovely wife. And yes, I agreed to do an interview where I gave two interviews, which came. One was my Thai girlfriend disappeared with all the money. This was one. The other one was how I make money in Thailand, which was the second one. Okay. So the first one came to around 31 minutes. The second one came to 27 minutes. Okay. So I thought I'll give you a little bit of the backstory which you're not aware of and a little bit about Thairish Times himself. Okay. So before I do go ahead, let me just tell you that please don't hate on the guy. You don't have to hate him. And support his channel because he is a YouTuber just like me. We are guys who create content, and you lose nothing by subscribing to a channel. You lose nothing by liking. So please support him. Okay, I'm not asking you to support me. You don't have to. If you want, you can, but support him in his journey and I'll give you the reasons why. It's not me kissing his ass. It's not me trying to promote him. He has not asked me to do this. This is me doing it on my own accord. Okay. So I prepared 30 points about Thairish Times, and I'll give it to you one by one. Now, before I go further, let me tell you that the comments that I got, they were nothing but entertaining, and I knew that I would get all these hate comments. Like, for example, I said, "Dear Pete, it was thank you for meeting up with you." There were some people who were like, "Okay, about this, the Thai girlfriend disappeared with all the money." There were some people who were like, good interview and all that. But then there are some others who said, he sounds like a narcissist. Then I feel sorry for this man. Okay, he has suffered a great deal of trauma. Where are the bad ones, man? There were many bad ones. Okay, this is a good interview. Where is... I did get some bad name. This is crazy. Okay, the most common one was narcissistic, and where are the bad ones? This is so crazy. I had quite a number of bad ones, and now all of a sudden I'm getting good ones. Wait. Let me change this to latest comments. Okay, the newest ones. I'm actually searching for the bad ones. Okay. Can't blame her. She must have been embarrassed walking down the street with him. Okay. He looks like a control freak. He's insecure. Then this guy doesn't believe that I've spent $500,000 on books. Okay. Which is okay, fine. You should check my library with the DVDs, MP3s and all that. Okay. Then the guy's a fraud, wanted by the police. I believe in Dubai. See? Wanted. And the guy is Ming Zhu Massage. Okay. Then one guy says, this man is beyond narcissistic. Then another one is, I'm guessing the face guy scams others for a living. And the freak show goes on. And okay, the guy... So, okay, weird guy with all the tattoos and all that. So, okay. And another one, Pradeep Prasanna. He's making up stories. He's a con man and con artist. Okay. So, and one other one. I can't watch this. I feel like vomiting. Blah. Okay. So, anyway. So, I did get a couple of bad ones. I'm pretty surprised that I'm only getting good ones. Otherwise, I get only bad ones. Okay. But the ones which I think I got mostly hated on, this one had how many? 44,000 views with 614 comments as of now. But this one had 21,000 views, but the comments were much more, 778. So if I sort out by newest, let me go with the newest. Okay. This man is a comedian. Okay. Then what is that? Pinu Jacob. He's a good friend and client of mine for many years. Wait, let's see the bad ones. Where's this guy saying, okay, must required viewing. Okay. Okay, this guy, Larry Wheels, I don't know who is this guy. Stupid guy getting scammed in Thailand. Right away, I'm suspect of this guy. Then one other guy, AK Airlines. He doesn't even earn 1 baht from his YouTube videos. Then Jonathan Murphy, he touches his nose on certain comments, which is 101 body language for lying. These pseudoscience belief. Okay, say I'm lying. Okay. Um, where's that? Most irritating guest, narcissistic comes. Okay, so go through all the comments. You'll find some really bad ones. Okay, you'll find some really bad ones. But I'll tell you, it was like this guy. Who's going to pay for advice? A dude with tattooed face is okay. So, and this guy, sorry, this guy's a scammer. Okay. So, yes, I have got good comments, which I'm surprised. Good comments have increased. I was actually searching for the bad ones. So, um, I want you to read those comments, and you don't have to, support me and say, "Oh, I know Loy." If nothing else, at least enjoy. If you want to get into, tell them, oh, I know him, or you want to say that I am a scammer, go ahead. I welcome you to do that. But the main thing is, read the comments. If not the interview, at least read the comments. You'll find two sides. And the reason why I'm asking you to read the comments is because this will give you an understanding why I didn't want to do interviews. Because what I realized is when you do interviews, you end up giving your time, your effort, your money, your everything, and you cannot control the results. You cannot control people's opinions, which is why if you Google search uh, interviews of Loy Machedo, the only other interview I've given is 6 years ago, podcast In a Fight with Loy Machedo. Okay, this was 6 years ago, which is 24,000 views. Uh, CoffeeZilla, which I gave 1 year ago, this has 1.1 million views, okay, of the fake degrees in India. And I really wanted to do this, okay, and expose the fake degree racket that is going on. And before that was Loy Machedo live interview on 24.ae, which is a national UAE channel. So the three interviews that I've done, 8 years ago, 24.ae, then the Inner Fight 6 years ago, and 1 year ago. Now, it is not like I've not been asked to do interviews. I get lots of people who want interviews, and it's not because I'm famous. Rather, people who are starting their YouTube channel or they're looking for views and engagement. It's very understandable that they want to leverage on some bigger name than they are. Let's say, for example, they have 100 subscribers, and let's say I have 50,000. So they're hoping, okay, more subscribers come in. So it's very understood. And then there are some others who really want to give content and value, like Thairish Times. He takes interviews of various people, not just for views, which we all want, not just for subscribers, but he wants to give value. But for me, as a content creator and a person who works online, I don't find any merit in doing interviews. I just feel it was a waste of time. But then why did I agree to do with him is a big question. The reason why I agreed to do with him is because I of the interviews he has done. I'll tell you, the interviews that I saw of his, among all the interviews, you can literally see where the red line, you can see, means I've seen the whole thing. The first interview that I saw of his was this guy. Why I quit my 6-figure engineering job and moved to Thailand. This is an interview that he had with an American guy. I'll tell you, even before you see my interview, watch his interview. A very well balanced, very mature human being, and wonderful. I really liked his interview. He's a humble guy. He's a very well accomplished gentleman. Really balanced. I really liked his interview. And once I saw his interview, I was hooked. I was like, I need to see another interview. Then I saw this other interview of this guy who drugs, ladyboys, and sex addiction. He is very famous in a controversial manner. If you check in bodybuilding forums, he has done bloodletting and all that. So I just saw a little bit, and I was like, this is not the type of content I want to watch. Then the other interview that I saw was this guy became a Thai citizen. How I made big money in Thailand and became a Thai citizen. Incredible story. And one other interview that I saw was my terrible Thai American marriage. I saw it half the way, but it was really shocking. So what I realized is this guy gives you genuine content. In fact, even why I'm leaving Thailand after 17 years. So, and behind the scenes of Thailand's YouTube life, this guy, he is the content creator. This guy, I don't want to move the mouse on it. it's retired but working for you. So he really speaks off the off camera, where he's putting on an act otherwise. So he was being natural. So I found value in what this guy was doing. And given the fact that I was meeting up with a business client in Bangkok, I decided, okay, fine. Since I'll be traveling for the whole month, when I come down to Bangkok, I'll bump into this guy, okay, and I'll do the interview. And I offered him three topics, okay, and I offered him before various topics, but he said, no, I only want to speak about Thailand, you and your life in Thailand. So I gave him three topics, he chose two, okay. So now in this video, I'll give you the 30 points which you may not know about Thairish Times, and why, why I really recommend his channel to you. Okay, so these are the 30 points. Let's hear them. Okay, number one is I found this channel while browsing through YouTube accidentally. The first video I told you was of Dana, which I highly recommend. I'll put the link down below. Number three is I offered the initiative to be featured on his channel. He didn't ask me, I offered. And yes, in some of the comments that you'll see in the videos, they'll say, oh, so he charges $100,000, which one of my premium courses, you can listen to that. I charge that kind of money. So people are making fun. Oh, did you pay $100,000? He didn't pay me anything. I offered to be featured on his channel. Okay. And why should he pay? I'm not a celebrity star of anything. Okay, number four is why I chose to be in his channel is because he's genuine. And yes, I was going to be in Bangkok for a business trip. Now, number five, why I refuse to do interviews. Here is a big question. Why do I? It's a waste of time. You cannot control what the person edits and what the person chooses to share. Let's say, for example, I've been with Muslims. I love Muslims, but now, but I kind of hate Muslims also. So they can, let's say, for example, that is my statement. They can actually edit, I love Muslims, I've stayed with Muslims, and they can only choose to put, but I hate Muslims. So I said, I love Muslims and I hate Muslims. You can actually edit, I love Muslims, and delete that part and just put, I hate Muslims. So you have to be very careful how people twist and turn and edit and put an interview. So, and on top of that, remember, I make money sitting at home. Why should I want to go anywhere? And this is something you may not know as a bonus point. Before COVID, I was offered to speak in companies based in India. I even been offered to come back to Dubai, which I'll get. Given that I spoke a lot of negative stuff about Dubai, I'll be arrested on the spot. And about Islam, I've spoken a lot of negative stuff. I have been asked to do TED Talks, which I've refused, TEDx Talks. I've been asked to speak to colleges. And people have, in majority of cases, they'll pay for my travel, they'll pay for my stay, because they get sponsors for travel and stay, but they'll not pay me for speaking. Or in some cases, they make it a barter exchange. You promote my college and this and that, and you promote my brand, I'll promote you. In some other cases, they are like, can you do it at a discount rate? So I didn't want to do this, because if I were to travel, it would take me approximately, if I have to speak at one venue, at least 1 week of traveling, going there, settling down, doing the interview, then coming back. It would take at least 1 week. And after coming back, it's not like I can just start my work, emails, and and my business would suffer. In fact, let me challenge you for this. Try asking a person who works day and night, okay, who is actually working hard. Tell him, I'll feature you on a TV channel and take your interview, but you have to give me 1 week of your time, which I'll not pay you for. I'll only pay you for 1 hour of speaking. They'll say, bugger off, man. Who's going to take care of my expense? And for me, that is why it's not interested. Anyway, the point number 6 is this was my first interview after physically being with someone in a fight. That was 6 years ago. And 1 year before actually doing it with CoffeeZilla, which crossed 1.1 million views. Okay. Since he wanted to focus on Thailand stories, that is point number 7, I gave him 3 stories. He agreed 2. And the only one he didn't agree was the one where I got cheated by the lawyer and lost a hell lot of money trying to get a business partner and all. Accountant cheated me. Okay, that all he said no. Point number 8 is physically, this guy, he looks pretty big here. Like if you see his photograph, looks pretty big. But he's actually a kind of short guy. And I'm not making fun of him. He was slightly short, but he's stocky. He's pretty well built. I mean, if he were to go to the gym and do rugby, I think he would smash everyone. So he's a very unassuming guy, very polite, very, very polite. And the thing that shocked me the most among all being polite and being nice, he's very, very mature. He's very level headed. He knows exactly what he wants in life. He has his goals. He's a kind of person I would highly recommend to keep as a friend because he offers value from his wisdom, his experience, and he's very hardworking. Point number nine is very practical, serious, focused, determined, has his head on his shoulders. And I think the one part in point number nine, which people do not know about him, is he works very, very hard. You know, most of these interviews that you see here, they might look very easy. Just take the microphone, hey, hi, how are you, and all that. In fact, let me tell you this, forget the cameras that he's putting, forget the investment that he has. Do you know that some of the interviews he actually had to fly down to those people and do the interview? On top of that, after flying down, he doesn't know whether the interview will come good or not good. He doesn't know whether the person will give him legit stories or fake stories. He doesn't know whether the whole experience is going to be good or bad. In fact, he has done many interviews he has conducted, which he just, in the end of the day, after doing all that traveling, meeting the person, getting the interview, he realized this is all crap. I can't put any of it. So these are some of the things you really do not know about him. So he is literally, for videos that I do, it's very easy. Put the camera on and talk. But in his case, he has to focus on the other person, and the success of his interview is based whether it will work or not work. And remember this, he's not taking celebrity stars in his interviews, he's taking normal people. So, will it work or not is a big question. Okay. Then, point number 10 is we communicated 3 times via emails, and that is after that only we met. Point number 11, after I landed in Bangkok, I only met him 2 days, just 2 days before I would leave. And the one, before meeting him, I spent one full day mentally preparing what I was about to say. I'll give you more on that later. Point number 12 is we met at a shopping mall. We went to have coffee and we spoke for 2 hours before the interview. Point number 13 is he really knows what he is going to do. He prepares everything in advance and he wants it to go smooth. He has more or less mastered the craft of conducting an interview. And I'll give you the drawbacks, huh? Don't worry about that. Point number 14, we actually, by the way, the shopping mall was massive. It's very huge. It's Central or something. I can't get the real name. Point number 14, we went to his building. He stays in a very posh apartment. Very affordable, at least compared to, if you compare to Hong Kong or Dubai. And we went right up to the penthouse. Beautiful view. The view was just immaculate. Where he stays, it is so incredible. Let me see if I can get you a shot of where he stays. This is the mall. This is the mall where we met. It's a massive mall, man. It's huge. Okay, and it's a sight to behold. Although all the brands which are selling there is just vanilla, it's the same. Let me see if I can get his screenshot of. See, this is where he stays. Beautiful view. The view is amazing. I've taken a couple of photographs and all, which I'll share with you later. Incredible view. Really nice. It's a sight to behold. Okay. Then coming to, let's go back here. Where is it? 1 second. Let me go back. Okay, we had 3 cameras. If you actually look, when I did the interview, one camera was facing me. One was, where was it? At the side here. Okay, we had 3 cameras that here, and we had 2 lapel microphones. Point number 16. This one is a big one, which everyone wanted to know. The way I was sitting. If you actually see, my leg is on the top. And many people commented and complained, like, why is he putting his smelly feet? See, have a look here. Why is he putting his feet on top of the sofa? And I'll explain to you what happened. If you actually look at the sofa it has a very short backrest, but it has a very long, base where your legs, just have a look. See, you can see this, my knee, it comes till here, and there is still an extended part of it where my legs, if I were to keep it, it'll be straight. Now you see him, you see Pete is sitting with his legs down. He is facing. Now, if I were to sit like Pete, we would be very close. Now, he has 2, cushions at the back. I didn't find the cushions very comfortable. In fact, I found it very odd to be sitting like this. So then what I decided is, let me keep my back firm and I moved at the back. And then I was like, okay, my legs are like this. Should I put it in a lotus position? There, because of my leg injury and my back, I was like, if I can't sit for more than 15 minutes like this, I'll keep moving. So finally, I had no other choice but to put my foot up. But then I asked myself, is it polite? Should I put it? And if you actually notice, there's a cushion that is kept there because I didn't want the camera focusing on my crotch, which is another thing. So I put it up. Now, here's one problem is I didn't know, which it didn't hit me, that when I put my leg up, it'll be distracting because you can see my leg tattooed. And there was another problem, which I'll talk to you more about later. Okay. So the way I was sitting was funny. Point number 17 is when we started the interview, there was this girl. Okay. You actually see there's this girl. I'll show you. Here. There's this girl at the background. Where is the girl? Okay, you can see this girl at the background. She had Bose soundproof headphones. So he was very courteous. He was actually worried that maybe she would get disturbed. But because she had soundproof headphones, she continued and we didn't even know that she existed there. Okay, she was very kind enough to let us do our thing. And at the second interview, she decided to move out because obviously she didn't want to disturb us. Okay, so among the two interviews, the first one was about my relationship. And here's one thing which you may not know. I literally practiced this 10 times. It was such a bloody headache. And I'll tell you why a little later. Okay. I practiced 10 times. The first time I practiced, it was a complete mess up because I went for 90 minutes. And here's the thing. Point number 20. Why did I practice? My style of speaking is I don't think about time. I just go on. Like Joe Rogan, you can go on for 1 hour, 2 hours. I just like to be relaxed. His style, Pete's style, and this is not me hating on him or criticizing him, he likes to keep it within the 15-minute bracket or max 30 minutes. That is why if you see all his interviews, 29 minutes, 18 minutes, 27 minutes, 15 minutes, he does not believe in taking it beyond the 30-minute mark, which I totally don't care. Okay. So his style is 30 minutes. My style is long. So I didn't have a choice but to really compress it. And then when I really compressed it, it came to around I can say the whole story in 5 minutes. But 5 minutes, then it doesn't become a worthwhile story to tell. You have to be a storyteller. You have to keep it interesting. You have to make it intriguing or humorous, or tension should be there. So for me to make it that way, I found it very challenging to fit it within 30 minutes. So I had to practice 10 times. The first time it went 90 minutes. Then I brought it down to 60 minutes. Then I brought it down to 45 minutes. Finally, when I practiced it in front of one of my friends and clients, and I brought it down to 30 minutes, he still told me it's boring. I was like, oh, bloody hell. Now, what do I do about this, man? So after practicing, finally, what you saw there was after lots of practice. And here's again where I did another blunder, big mistake. I had, I have one coffee, normally one coffee throughout the day. If I really have something important and urgent, two coffees. For his interview, I ended up having, I think, 6 coffees, which I never planned out. 2 coffees in the morning, then 2 coffees before meeting him. Then after meeting him, I had another one coffee or something. Oh my goodness, I had 5 to 6 coffees, espressos, really strong. And by the time I was there, the coffee hit me like all of a sudden, it kept going more and more. That is why you'll see me being very aggressive. In fact, the first 3 minutes of my interview, this is point number 21. First 3 minutes, I was fumbling. It was bad. I was bombing. First 3 minutes of that Thai girlfriend disappeared. Yeah. But after that, thank goodness, it went with the flow. Point number 22 is when I did go in the state of flow and it was going beautifully, he just shocks me by telling, okay, that's the interview. Thank you very much. I was like, what? So I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, bloody hell. I'm in the zone and he wants me to stop. And I was like, okay, now what do I do? And I told him, I'm in the state of flow. He's like, very good. Let's start all over again.
Loy, part 2. How you doing?
So far, so good.
Yeah, you're in the flow now? Flow state?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
The espresso is kicked in.
Yeah, exactly. I like when the interviewees are in a flow state. All right, so...
And if you are a content creator, you'd know that once you're in the state of flow and someone interrupts, you can't get back to it. And that is exactly what happened in my second interview. Even though it looks like I did a good job, I was not in the state of flow. It was interrupted and that really fucked up. that really fucked up big time. Huh? And I'll tell you where the biggest mistake that I made in his interview. The biggest mistake was, that is point number 23. The first interview, I knew that he was going to ask me about my relationship, so I prepared. So even though he had his questions, he didn't ask me. Second interview, we had agreed we are going to speak on how I made money. But the mistake was, I didn't know what questions he would ask me. And this was a major problem. So when I didn't know the questions he's going to ask me, I didn't know, like, you have to come prepared, right? So point number 24 is, we had agreed we would not speak on my financials. But point number 25, he ended up asking me about my financials. And this is not me hating on him. The point number 26, I never thought he would check my website where, I've asked my courses, personal branding. One is 100,000. And I have had 100,000 dirhams, $100,000 worth clients. 100,000 dirhams, $100,000 I have had.
And above.
Now, I had a look at your website today. One of your courses, you charge $100,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, which royal family?
That I can't mention.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Client,
won't push you on it.
Okay.
But those are very rare and few, and those are highly confidential. I never thought he would ask me this. Okay? So, and remember this much. When I started off my career, I started off with $1, $5, and it has grown over the period of time. So, I didn't know he was going to take, just imagine, all of a sudden he just asked, what do you offer for $100,000? Who is that client? Am I going to reveal the details of the client? So this is not me hating on him. I'm telling you exactly what happened. Okay, then, this question I was not prepared. In this video, how I make money in Thailand, he asked me about why I talk about women being fat versus how can I get a client since I call women fat. See, I'll show you the...
Support you said you're a straight talker, and I can see exactly now you're a straight talker.
Let's get to the juicy part. Come on.
All right. The juicy part is, a lot of people don't like you. You've got a lot of hate groups. A lot of people try to get you off YouTube, try to get your website shut down, are targeting you, especially in I don't know, maybe India and Dubai. A lot of people. There's a lot of people. A lot of people say you're racist. Yeah, there were comments made about Indian women, how they're overweight. There was a comments made about I forget the name, but a certain ethnic group of Indians. You said they smell very bad. Yeah, but Loy, if you're saying I don't like this group of people because they smell bad, and I don't like certain kinds of Indian women, they need to exercise, they're overweight, you must know that people are not going to be happy with that.
What is
Loy Machedo, don't marry an Indian woman. Okay, don't marry an Indian woman. If you actually see this video, don't marry an Indian woman, 13 reasons. Okay, it's not me hating on women, and it's not me hating on Indian women. I tell them about the Indian culture, which is not, it's very different to other cultures. You get the family involved, you get all the complications. So I've spoken on it, and I've clearly stated that an Indian family or an Indian woman would never want to marry someone like me who looks like a freak with my tattoos. I look like a freak show. Okay. So it's not me putting them down, but giving a balanced perspective. Okay. Don't marry an Indian girl. Out of the blue. See, even I have here 10 reasons why you should not marry a Thai woman. Okay. Out of the blue, he asked me, like, if you call women fat and ugly, Indian women, some of them, not all, how will you get clients? Now, what he was trying to say is, if you, position yourself in such a controversial way and give all these controversial opinions, how would you get clients? That's what he meant. The problem with me is, by the time the coffee had hit me so high, that is why you'll see my leg. You'll actually see my leg moving, because by the time the coffee had hit me so hard, coffee, where is that leg? See, his legs is moving. My leg, see, this is me being aggressive here. See, my leg was moving, man. It was really bad. Where's my leg moving? Come on, move, man. This is the leg moving. In between, my leg is really moving. I do not know which part of the video it is, but it was really bad, yeah. Because the coffee had really hit me by that time. So it really looked bad. It really looked ugly. I didn't like it one bit, okay? So now what was happening is, here is me getting hyper, and he's asking me about women fat. Instead of focusing on that question, I started speaking about Indians. This is a problem with being ADHD. your mind goes so fast, so much of information, you don't know what you're talking sometimes. And this happens to me. So there I was rambling about that. It was nothing but rambling. But eventually I did answer the question that the clients who really have to take my service, they are mature. And the ones who get offended, they'll never come to me. So I rambled on that. The leg shaking part was terrible. It was really terrible, man. I wish I could show you the exact part of the video where my leg was shaking. It was really, really bad. And by the time you could say the coffee really hit me, and I was hyper. My heart rate had gone up, and I was really crazy. Okay. And that is why in some parts of my video, you'll find me also very rude and very aggressive. It was really crazy. You can see my actions. Okay. And last, if not the least, is the final bit is people ask me, do you regret doing? See, my leg is moving. Okay. Uh, People ask me, do I regret doing this interview? Do I regret? One very important part. In one of the questions, he asked me, do you love your wife? Do you love your wife? Okay.
Is it love?
It's, I wouldn't say love as it's working hard to prove yourself the person every single.
And if you see that part of the video, I don't know which part it is in this one about my love for my wife. Oh, yeah, the money part was where my leg was shaking more. This was the second video. Okay, this was the part where I really got aggressive. You can see my hand and the gestures, everything is moving really fast. So when he asked me, do you really love your wife? You'll notice I maintain a blank.
Is it love?
It's, I wouldn't say love as it's.
I don't actually talk at all. Why is because what I wanted to say is the definition of love, according to me at least, is where your actions speak louder than words, and not in the romantic sense of I love you, love me, oh, I want to make love to you. No. Love has different meanings for different people. For me, it is actions speak louder than words. Okay. So when I took my time and do you love your wife? Or, I just thought everyone jumped on the gun. He doesn't love his wife. It's all a facade. So that was another one. And there is one guy here, I can't get his name, who he stays in Thailand. He was so pissed off that I called my wife a simple village lady. Okay. See, there are a lot of hate comments here. Oh, his word is desperation and all that. So he was so angry with me that I said my wife is a simple village woman because he also is married to a Thai woman. The part is, what I was trying to say is I didn't marry my wife for her good looks or her figure or all that, rather her character. But then, like I said, when you do an interview, people will cherry pick what they want to choose and what they want to hate. So overall, what I'll tell you is, I'm trying to find that guy's comment. If I get it, let's see. Maybe you guys will get it because there are so many, 700 comments, man, too many. Okay. So overall, I'll tell you, do I regret doing this interview with him? Do I regret? No, absolutely not. And I'll tell you, it was a great experience because it really showed me the art of the interview is not meant for everyone. And when you want to make your interview stand out, you want to give it value, you really have to practice. Giving interviews is an art form by itself. It's an art form of public speaking that requires practice, that requires dedication. Overall, what I want to tell you is it was a pleasure doing an interview with this guy. He's a very genuine person. He's a very nice guy. Please support his channel. You don't lose anything by subscribing. You'll always come to know what new content he's putting. Like if you actually notice, even I don't verbally tell anyone, hey, like my channel, subscribe. And it's not that, oh, Loy's so great. He's not asking, but he's asking for him. No. Different people have different styles. My kind of content, either you like it or hate it. So I believe if you want, you'll do it. But in his case, do support him because every video you see, he takes at least 1 week or 5 days to give out. So he gives out great content. And I believe people like him should be supported. So overall, it was a pleasure meeting this guy. Very genuine guy. Him and I may not be like great friends, but we'll definitely, support each other as content creators. So overall, these were the 30 things I thought you would know about the interview that I did. Let me know what you thought of the interview. Did you enjoy it? Did you not enjoy it? And out of all the comments, oh man, I'll tell you, there's comments 600, 700. It's not easy to get through all of them. But there were some people who really, really hated me. Really hated me. You should read them. And if nothing else, if not my interview, I would say read the comments. Good Lord, I'll tell you, you'll come to know how people, you'll come to realize why it's no point doing an interview. Uh, at least for me, why I don't think it's any use doing an interview, because end of the day, people will just cherry pick what they want, and you can't control the narrative. Having said that, I hope you enjoyed this 30 things of Thairish Times, which you may not know.
Before we do that, folks, do me one more thing. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe to the channel. It does me a big favor. Like the video and leave me a comment. I'm very, very interested to hear what you have to say and what you think about this interview. Cheers, let's get into it.